Announced against 6 Atlanta police officers involved in an incident in which 2 college students were tased while trying to get home. They told our Jim Murray that they thought they were going to die when cops pulled them out of the car.
2 college students who were violently tased by cops and pulled out of their car are speaking out today. How would you describe the way both of you were treated?
Like animals.
I was terrified for my life.
Come to our shot, they're breaking into a car, come to our
The dramatic police confrontation in Atlanta was captured live on television. The college students say they were stuck in traffic when cops singled them out and started banging on the window with a baton. A stunned Tanaya Pilgrim screams with fear.
Stop! Okay, I'm getting out!
As police train their tasers on her and open fire. Her boyfriend, Messiah Young, tries to help by pulling the taser wires from her body.
I felt very confused and hopeless, and the only thought in my mind was the only thing that can come next from here has to be death.
A police officer drags her from the car. She's put face down on the ground as police zip tie her wrists. At the same time, her boyfriend is also tased. It's hard to watch as his body convulses while officers pull the Morehouse business major from both directions, breaking his wrist and gashing his arm.
I had 20 stitches in my forearm. I have bruises all over my body, all over my torso and chest. I had a taser in my neck for 6 hours.
6 Atlanta police officers have now been charged with using excessive force. Why do you think you were targeted? Do you think you were targeted because of your race?
I think that comes into play, honestly. And it's sad that it has to, and majority of the officers that were involved were the same race as us.
Civil rights attorney Mawuli Davis represents Messiah. How would you describe that police action?
Excessive, terroristic, abusive. Something has to change with police culture, and it has to happen immediately, and people will not tolerate this kind of abuse any further.
And this image of George Floyd's 6-year-old daughter is touching America. She stood alongside her weeping mother, Roxy Washington, who spoke about the loss of her little girl's dad.
She needs her dad. She does not have that anymore.
Mounting strain on cops appears to be triggering disturbing encounters. In Buffalo, New York, a 75-year-old man was shoved to the ground by 2 cops and seriously injured.
My name is Martin Gugino.
The victim, identified as Martin Gugino, is a local activist. In the video, he appears to show an officer something on his cell phone. Then he's pushed and falls. The officers walk on. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is horrified.
Police officers walk by. It's just fundamentally offensive and frightening.
Both cops are suspended without pay, but 57 other officers have resigned from the anti-riot squad to protest their suspension. That's everyone on the squad. Cops in major cities have had leaves and vacations canceled. They're working long, grueling shifts. They're trying to control protests, enforce curfews, and stop looting. Dozens of them have been targeted and injured, and some say the strain is putting them on edge.
It's been a long month for all of us.
Stay back!
In Los Angeles, cops arrested a cameraman as he was recording an arrest.
He's under arrest! He's under arrest!
Reason to celebrate. This is the InsideEdition.com coronavirus news for June 4th, 2020. Elijah Cromartie has a lot to be happy about. The teen just graduated from high school and from the effects of COVID-19. Elijah has been fighting COVID-19 since April. He'd been on a ventilator, and he spent nearly a month at the Detroit Medical Center's Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan. The 18-year-old would have missed his high school graduation had lockdown measures in his state not put graduation ceremonies on hold. So when Elijah was discharged from the hospital, staff there staged a clap-out graduation procession. A beaming Elijah wore a cap and gown as he strolled down the hospital hallway to cheers. Then there were big hugs with his sister, whom he hadn't seen since April 18th. Graduates in a Southern California ski town got their diplomas in a socially distant and regionally appropriate way, by chairlift. The Mountain High Resort hosted the ceremony. Students and 3 household members were allowed to attend. To keep a safe distance, they rode every 5th chair. At the end of the scenic 4-minute ride, they got their diplomas and some very big grins.
Miss Angela Guerrero.
A few hours north in Hollister, California, graduates were happy to be able to graduate safely and in person.
Better than a virtual graduation?
Much better, yeah.
It was kind of sad, like losing